believe you're a rogue police officer, you're a bad police officer, and you don't deserve to be here.
John, what's going on?
The door slowly, step out!
Get out!
Get out the car!
Get out now!
I have not committed any crime.
In a world filled with shadows and corruption, some bad cops thought they could do as they pleased. But, surprise, surprise, there were eyes watching, and they had their own ways ready to outsmart these rogue officers. Brace yourself for a thrilling showdown as we spill the beans on when corrupt cops faced off against the rule breakers.
Sir, go back into your car. I'll be with you in a second.
You better check the registration on this plate soon, mister.
I'm granting. I'm rescinding the sentence. I'm granting the JOA.
Case number 1. During an awards ceremony for excellent policemen in 2019, a Florida municipal commissioner surprised his colleagues by claiming one of the recipients was a bad police officer who had wrongfully detained him years before. The surprise came after Tamarack, Florida, local officials rewarded Broward Sheriff's Office Deputy Joshua Gallardo with the Deputy of the Month award for his role in apprehending an alleged gang member wanted for murder.
You probably don't remember me, but you're the police officer who falsely arrested me 4 years ago. You lied on the police report.
Gallardo collected his award, posed for photos with the mayor, and was on his way back to his seat when Tamarack City Commissioner Mike Gellin seized the microphone and requested him to return to the front, as shown on a video recording of the meeting. Morse explained in detail why he felt Sippel's use of physical force was excessive for approximately 19 minutes before issuing the sentence. "Joshua Gallardo, will you come down for a second? It's good to see you again," said Gellin, before erupting into a tirade over what he believed to have been a false arrest in 2015.
I believe you're a rogue police officer, you're a bad police officer, and you don't deserve to be here.
Gallardo gave an odd smile as the commissioner scolded him, and he even gave a thumbs up as he returned to his seat. Gallardo arrested Gellin, who was not an elected official at the time, in 2015 for resisting arrest without violence, stating he refused to stay away from a crime scene. The charges were later withdrawn. Pate, according to Sippel, instigated a physical encounter and resisted arrest. Sippel was later sacked from the Rochester Police Department. Morse explained in detail why he felt Sippel's use of physical force was excessive for approximately 90 minutes before issuing the sentence. Case number 2. Seminole County Judge Fred Schott sentenced the defendant after a jury found him guilty. However, Schott became enraged and requested that the officer who detained the 46-year-old lady be prosecuted with perjury. Schott overturned the sentence and jury verdict after a prosecutor refused to cooperate.
This isn't a purely circumstantial case. And so I'm going to deny the motion for JOA.
"This whole case is fishy," said Schott, who pounded the bench with his hand. "You know what? I'm rescinding the sentence. I'm granting the JOA." That's a reference to a judgment of acquittal, a formal finding of not guilty.
Wait a minute. Did you hear the uncontroverted testimony of this officer?
Your Honor.
Then I want you taking him up on perjury.
Your Honor.
Will you take him up for perjury?
He admitted it was a mistake, Your Honor.
No, but he lied. He lied on a sworn
Absolutely
citation.
not, Your Honor, and that is not true.
I'm dismissing. I am dismissing this charge. No.
JOA for the defendant, you're done, he said to Assistant State Attorney Diana Myers, the attorney with whom he was arguing. The blow-up came March 11th about 6:30 p.m. at the end of a one-day trial of 46-year-old Lisette Gonzalez.
I'm granting. I'm rescinding the sentence. I'm granting the JOA.
Sanford officer Michael Wagner had pulled her over the afternoon of November 15th when he saw her sipping from a can of natural ice beer while driving on St. John's Parkway, according to her arrest report. "Are you going to null pros, drop that case, or am I going to get mad at you today?" Schott asked. "Perhaps you can get mad at me, Your Honor," Myers replied. She refused to drop the case.
In fairness, because you don't like the state's decision today, Your Honor, on the case?
No, you're not. Now that I consider what Officer Wagner testified to and how many times he basically tripped over himself just to arrest this lady.
Schott then announced he was dismissing it, only to reverse course a few moments later and say he wanted a full-blown hearing, something that would require Wagner to come back to court, as well as an employee with the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, the agency that issues driver's license. In an interview, Scott, 55, of Longwood, said he did nothing unlawful, but said he may have become too upset. "I was angry," he said. "I probably got more emotional than I should have, but I really feel this woman was treated unfairly." Case number 3.
Okay. Go pull the video at Valero. You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you.
As part of a heated argument, the town's county sheriff intervened in the middle of a traffic stop conducted by a Hiwassee sergeant. Hiwassee, Georgia Police Sergeant Tracy James was seen on a video pulling down a man in a burgundy vehicle who was allegedly driving erratically throughout the city boundaries of Hiwassee before jumping the municipal boundary.
Do it, Ode.
Go for it.
Do it. There's cameras at Valero, and there's cameras at Napa that sees you pulled out.
Shut your mouth.
You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your boy.
Talk to you, boy. You a boy.
Thank you.
However, shit hits the fan when County Sheriff Ken Henderson approaches the vehicle when James is issuing the man his ticket. Henderson asks the man in the truck if his violation occurred in the city or the county, and when the man said county, which of course is under the sheriff's office jurisdiction, James threatens to arrest the sheriff for intruding on his traffic stop. "You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you." As the sergeant tried to explain that surveillance video would show the stop began within city limits, the sheriff said, "Shut your effing mouth." According to the body camera recording obtained by 11 Alive Investigates from a source and through an open records request to Hiwassee Police. Twice during the heated exchange between the two lawmen, the sheriff called the sergeant an F-boy using a swear word. Once he was inside the patrol car and out of earshot of the sheriff, the sergeant called the sheriff a mother effer, also using a swear word, according to the body-worn camera recording. Case number 5. A judge was let free after confronting a police officer during a traffic stop and ordered him to check the registration on his plate soon, mister.
You better check the registration on this plate soon, mister.
Police dashcam video released by the LNP newspaper in Pennsylvania shows Lancaster County President Judge Dennis Rainacre being pulled over for tailgating an unmarked police car in April. When County Sheriff Ken Henderson approaches the vehicle while James is issuing the man his ticket, shit hits the fan. The video shows Rainacre getting out of his SUV after being pulled over and barking at the officer. "What do you think you're doing pulling me over? For blowing my horn?"
Sir, go back into your car. I'll be with you in a second.
You better check the registration on this plate soon, mister.
After the officer ordered him back into the SUV, the judge said, "You better check the registration on this plate soon, mister." The officer sent him on his way about 40 seconds later, saying, "Have a good day, Judge." Rainacre replied, "You bet." Rainacre said in a statement to the newspaper that he did not expect or ask for special treatment. "However, I am not immune to an instance of mild frustration during a morning commute. In this case, it was not clear to me why I was pulled over. I obeyed the officer's directives and intended no disrespect," he said. The judge added that he told the officer to check his registration because he wanted to leave as soon as possible. Case number 6. Karen Nazario. An Army lieutenant who was pepper sprayed and held at gunpoint by Virginia police following a traffic check in 2020 was granted $3,685 in damages in 2023. In April 2021, Nazario, who is black and Latino, filed a lawsuit against 2 Windsor Police Department officers. The police were accused of assault and racial profiling in the federal case. Nazario demanded $1 million in restitution. According to the lawsuit, Nazario was driving his freshly purchased Chevy Tahoe when he was pulled up by police in Windsor, Virginia in December 2020. In a report filed on the night of the incident, Gutierrez said they were treating it as a high-risk traffic stop because Nazario's vehicle had no license plate displayed. He took a long time to stop and he had extremely dark window tints. The jury awarded Nazario $1,000 in punitive damages after concluding that Officer Daniel Crocker violated state law by conducting an illegal search, and $2,685 in compensatory damages after concluding that Officer Joseph Gutierrez, who was fired after the event, assaulted Nazario. Furthermore, the jury determined that Crocker violated Nazario's Fourth Amendment right to resist a search, but did so without malice and chose not to award Nazario any damages for that offense. It also found neither officer guilty of wrongfully imprisoning Nazario. According to Nazario's counsel, the automobile had temporary license plates attached to the rear and side windows, and he was only seeking for a well-lit location to pull over. According to his claim, Nazario was handcuffed and interrogated while waiting for paramedics to treat his pepper-sprayed eyes. But he was not arrested. Body cameras and Nazario's mobile captured the incident. Case number 4. A former Rochester police officer was found guilty of abusing a city resident during an arrest. Michael Sipple was sentenced to 3 years probation by City Court Judge Thomas Rainbow Morse on Monday for assaulting Christopher Pate. Sipple hit Christopher Pate in the face during an arrest in May 2018, after he and his partner misidentified Pate as a burglary suspect. Pate had a facial fracture. Pate, according to Sipple, instigated a physical encounter and resisted arrest. Sipple was later sacked from the Rochester Police Department. Morse explained in detail why he felt Sipple's use of physical force was excessive for approximately 90 minutes before issuing the sentence. "You should have restrained yourself that day," Morse told Sipple. Morse noted that Sipple had received both a Bronze Star and Purple Heart during his service in the U.S. Army before serving as a police officer in New York City and later in Rochester. "It's not an excuse for what happened," Morse observed. "But part of the reason for what happened was a result of the PTSD from your years of service in the Army as a decorated war hero and your service to the community. You have given so much to this country and this community," Morse told Sipple, "and we should be taking better care of you for the baggage that you brought home." Morse said the verdict was not meant to be a ruling on use of force in general, but rather applied specifically to Pate and Sipple's encounter. This case has never been about whether police officers can use physical force to effect a valid arrest. They can, Morse wrote in his decision. This case has never been about whether citizens can resist arrest, whether it is authorized or not. They can't. And that's it for today, guys. Which case shocked you the most? Let us know in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to our channel for more such videos.